Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for JM Sports 100 and the JM Sports Show. How is it going? I am here to make college football picks for Saturday, September 3rd, 2016. I'm not very happy right now. I just got about through 7 minutes and about half of recording this video the first time, and I did the exact same thing I did yesterday. I clicked away from the camera and it stopped recording. I'm not very happy right now, but nonetheless, we will move on and do this again. Yesterday in college football, we went 8-3, and instead of going through scores again, I'm just going to do it this way. We got wins from Stanford, Michigan State, Baylor, Eastern Michigan, Ball State, Syracuse, Colorado, and Nevada. Our three losses came from Buffalo, Temple, and Arkansas State. So with that, we are 22-4 on the year after going 8-3 yesterday. 21-4 on the weekend. Of course, 1-0 after the Hawaii Cal game in Sydney last Thursday. So we are 3,478 wins, 1,149 losses is the lifetime record. Disclaimer: before I get to any of this, it is the first week of the year, and I am not going to lie, I don't know everything about every team in the country. Some of these games, especially, and no offense to the lower schools, but some of these games are guesses. Okay, when we get to like New Mexico State and UTEP, that's just me winging it and going off of what I believe. So, the bigger games I do know more about. But here we go. Let's get underway. We will kick things off here very, very early. In fact, in just about 45 minutes or so, Georgia Tech will take on Boston College live from Dublin. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech in that game. Number 3, Oklahoma, and number 15, Houston. I'm going to go with Oklahoma in this game. I do think it has the potential to be close. And I'm not taking the easy way out because, yes, every game has the potential to be close. I think this game is going to go one of two ways. I think it's either going to be extremely tight, or Oklahoma could blow Houston's right off. I don't think it'll blow Houston's right off. I think it'll be closer than people think, but I do have Baker Mayfield and Oklahoma getting the win. I think Mayfield's just a bit too much for the Cougars. Fordham taking on Navy. I'm going to go with Navy. Next up, we have Eastern Kentucky taking on Purdue, and I'm going to go with Purdue. Bowling Green and 6th-ranked Ohio State. Give me Ohio State. Western Michigan taking on Northwestern. I'm going to go with Northwestern in this game here. Now, you're thinking, Jonathan, you said that with some reservation. Maybe you probably shouldn't say with reservation. And I'm not saying it with reservation, but the last time I looked at the spread for this game, which was back yesterday, and I don't look at a lot of spreads for college games, I did happen to see this one, and I know I said I don't pick against the spread, and for the third time this year in the 3 videos that I've made, I'm talking about the spread. But here's the one thing that the spread for this game was really low. I don't remember exactly what it was at, but Northwestern was not favored by much in this game. And if there's one thing I've learned in the picking NFL games against the spread, the times that I have, if a line seems too good to be true, it probably is. So be careful betting on the Western Michigan game. Now, I'm not saying that that's always the case. So if Northwestern goes up and puts 63 on the board and beats Western Michigan 63 to nothing, don't come comment on the video and go, "You said not to do it," because the line was weird. I'm just saying, a lot of times, if the line seems too good to be true, it probably is. Hawaii and 7th-ranked Michigan. I am going to go with the Wolverines in this game. I do expect big things from Michigan this season. Boise State, Louisiana Lafayette. Give me Boise State. South Alabama takes on Mississippi State, and I'm going to go with Mississippi State. Missouri and West Virginia should be a good game here. I expect a close game here. I've got West Virginia getting the win. Howard, Maryland. Give me Maryland, Liberty, and Virginia Tech. Give me the Hokies. Villanova takes on Pittsburgh, and I'm going to go with Pittsburgh, but for those of you who have followed my videos for any length of time, you do know that the Pitt Panthers have been a thorn in my side for quite some time the last few years. I had the same thing. You pretty much when you're making picks as often as I do, you have that team a lot of times that will do that to you, and that will really seems like every week they play the opposite of the way you pick. In the NFL, for not so much last year, but in previous years, it's been the Miami Dolphins. Here in college football for the last few years, it's been the Pitt Panthers. Every time I've picked them, they've played poorly. Every time I haven't picked them, they've been on fire and gotten wins. So, sorry, Pitt Panther fans, you might play like crap today because I'm picking you. Next up, we have Abilene Christian taking on Air Force. I'm going to go with Air Force. Rutgers and 14th ranked Washington. I am going to go with Washington. That's one of those teams that I'm looking forward to seeing how the year plays out for them. I do think it'll be a pretty successful year, which is something that the Huskies have been looking for quite some time. I think they'll get it this year. 16th ranked UCLA takes on Texas A&M. I am going to go with UCLA in a very close game. Now, urgency, and that's what I'm going to chalk this one up to, is urgency. Um, this is a very, very important game for UCLA in the Pac-12. So with that said, I do think because if you are UCLA, if you lose this game, okay, the Pac-12 is probably going to be out of the playoff. Um, UCLA, I think, is pretty much probably the only chance that the Pac-12. You look at Oregon. I don't think Oregon's going to be incredibly impressive. Washington's not ready. USC is not ready, and I think they'll probably do quite a bit of damage to themselves in their game against Alabama today. We'll talk about that when we get to it. UCLA, I think, right now, it's safe to say that that's probably the Pac-12's biggest. Biggest chance. Nothing against. I'm sorry, nothing against Stanford. I don't think Stanford is there either. Christian McCaffrey, I don't think can do it. Stanford has a tough schedule at times, and so I do expect them to take some losses. This is a big game for UCLA. They could really hurt themselves with a loss here against Texas A&M. But I am going to say something at the end of this video that I had heard, and I'm going to echo it. Um, which is also something that makes this first week very, very interesting. Next up, we have 5th ranked LSU taking on Wisconsin. Now, anybody who's followed me for any length of time knows I am from Wisconsin. However, if there's one thing that I'm not afraid to do, it's pick against Wisconsin teams. Badgers, Packers, Bucks, Brewers, doesn't matter. And this one is going to be no exception here. The game is at Lambeau Field. The game is going to have a big time feel to it this afternoon. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. But I don't think it's going to be pretty if you're Wisconsin. I don't think Bart Houston is enough to get it done for. I think he's going to win some games for the Badgers. I think this is going to be a bit of a down year for the Badgers. They have an incredibly tough schedule. And so I do think it'll be a down year for them. Plus, I don't really see a way. The Badgers' leading tackler from last year is not going to play. Last I knew, and if you don't have, I don't think they could have stopped Leonard Fournette anyway. If you don't have your leading tackler from last year, I really don't think you stop him. I don't think it's pretty. I've got LSU getting the win. Next up, we have Richmond and Virginia. I'm going to go with Virginia. Kent State and Penn State. Give me Penn State. Miami, Ohio takes on 17th ranked Iowa. Give me Iowa. Texas State takes on Ohio. I'm going to go with the Bobcats. Murray State and Illinois. I've got Illinois and Lovie Smith getting his first win there. Number 21, Oklahoma State taking on Southeastern Louisiana, and I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. Louisiana Tech and Arkansas. Give me Arkansas. UC Davis takes on 24th ranked Oregon. I'm going to go with Oregon. 18th ranked Georgia taking on 22nd ranked North Carolina. I like Georgia's quarterback that they named. Nick Chubb is expected to play. I think it'll be a good game once again. Georgia, though, I think beats North Carolina. Southern Illinois and Florida Atlantic. Give me Florida Atlantic. North Carolina Central and Duke. Give me Duke. Western Carolina and East Carolina. Give me East Carolina. Florida A&M and the Miami Hurricanes. The U of M. I am going to go with the Canes. Next up, we have Savannah State and Georgia Southern. I'm going to go with Georgia Southern. Austin Peay takes on Troy. Give me Troy. VMI and Akron. Give me Akron. I'm trying to run through these quick because it's running a little bit longer than I would like it to. Alabama A&M, Middle Tennessee, give me Middle Tennessee. SMU, North Texas, I'm going to go with SMU. San Jose State and Tulsa, I'm going to go with Tulsa. Towson and South Florida, give me South Florida. South Carolina State and UCF, give me UCF. Rhode Island and Kansas, give me Kansas. Southeastern Missouri State takes on Memphis, I'm going to go with Memphis. Alabama State and University of Texas San Antonio, UTSA, I'm going to go with UTSA. Southern and Louisiana Monroe, give me Louisiana Monroe. Southern Miss and Kentucky, give me Kentucky. UMass takes on 25th ranked Florida. I am going to go with the Gators. Of course, one of the big games everyone's talking about, number 20 USC and number 1 Alabama. This game has ugly written all over it. Sorry, USC fans. However, I think Alabama is better than USC in every way except probably offensively. However, you look at coaching and really the way that both organizations are set up. I'm going with Alabama all day long. USC, has the coaching staff they have, but it's tough to go against Nick Saban in Alabama in any way. And defense, definitely a big edge for Alabama. I think this is going to be another great defense for the Tide, and so I don't think this game is pretty. I think Alabama wins it in a runaway. Next up, we have Northern Iowa and Iowa State. Give me Iowa State. Fresno State takes on Nebraska. Give me Nebraska. Eastern Washington and Washington State. Give me Washington State. New Mexico State and UTEP. I'm going to go with New Mexico State. South Dakota State and 13th ranked TCU. Give me TCU. Stephen F. Austin and Texas Tech. Give me Texas Tech. New Hampshire takes on San Diego State, and I'm going to go with San Diego State. Number 2, Clemson takes on Auburn. Clemson is one of my favorites to make it back to the national championship this year, but a tough game right out of the blocks. But I do have Clemson getting the win. BYU and Arizona, I think this is going to be another really, really close game. I think BYU is better defensively, and I think they're a little bit better offensively as well. I do have BYU getting the win, like I said, in a close game down in Glendale. Northern Illinois takes on Wyoming, and I am going to go or out in Arizona rather. Out in Glendale, Northern Illinois takes on Wyoming. I'm going to go with Northern Illinois. Northern Arizona takes on Arizona State, and I'm going to go with Arizona State. So, that's that. Video went a little longer than I wanted, so I apologize. However, I will say the point that I said I was going to make earlier in the video, and that is simply this. And I'm going to echo this. I'd heard this on College Football Live on Friday, and I agree with it. I think a week like this, where a team, there's going to be upsets today. I'm not calling for any, so we're probably going to take some losses there. But there is probably going to be some upsets today. And a week like this is a situation where the committee is going to probably have to look at a team who took a loss, who took probably a close loss today, and not punish them for it. So this will really be a chance, the first chance that the committee's had to do that this early in the year. So that'll be really, 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 really interesting to see how that plays out. Really excited and interested to see how that goes. I'm just excited for football to be back. I am excited for Saturday. I am going to watch a little bit of the game from Dublin just because I kind of need that football fix, so I'm going to get it. A big day of college football on tap. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy it. The best of luck to your teams that play today, and hopefully it is a fantastic year of college football, and I truly believe that it will be. Don't forget to like the Jam Sports Show page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Links, as always, are down in the description. And that is going to do it for me. I am Jonathan Mozart for Jam Sports 100, the Jam Sports Show. And I will see you guys later.